How's it going, people? Welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to News Daily. As you can see, we got a debut for Stricto in the building.
Yes,
Okay,
bro.
how's it going?
Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here as always, man.
By special request as well on the watch along against Chelsea. Someone put in a super chat, requested for Stricto to be on News Daily. I hope they're here now in particular.
They're getting their money's worth, bro.
Yeah, come on, G. They want to hear, get your perspective on everything. And there's a couple big headlines around Arsenal today that we can discuss. A couple reporters that are deemed more in the know than others have speculated about Maddison and also Xhaka's impending contract. We'll touch on Maddison first. And it was Chris Wheatley who initially tweeted about it a couple hours ago, and he said Arsenal have proposed a player plus cash deal for Leicester midfielder James Maddison. I'm told negotiations are very slow and like a game of chess, but the player is keen on a move to North London. Several players have been mentioned in talks, with figures dependent on the player exchange. Another London club also interested in Maddison. What do you make of that initially before I delve into the article itself on Football London?
Another London club. Which club is that? Chelsea?
It'd have to be Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham.
It'd have to be, because Chelsea have got enough attacking quality. I don't think they need a... Look at what they got: Mount, Havertz, Werner, Pulisic. I'm not saying they're all same position, but you know, there's only a few positions up there. It'd have to be Tottenham, unless it's a West Ham who are trying to build on a good season last season.
West Ham really going to do that? Have they got the money for that?
I don't know anymore.
But no, well, touching on it, I think that's good business. We've got a few. I reckon before we actually have to probably bring another player in, we do have to take some players out. You know, I think that's a great. If that can happen, that's a great deal. But which do you know which players we're getting?
That's why I went into the article itself. So he also has a link attached to the tweet. It's a Football London article that touches on it being very slow and whatnot. Yeah. And it says, however, it's understood that the Gunners have sounded out the possibility of signing Maddison by offering different players in the deal via intermediaries to make the transfer fee more viable. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Joe Willock, Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah are among the players available for transfer this summer, although it is not confirmed who has been offered as the makeweight. So they're saying an offer, so they're saying a bid has been made, basically. A bid's been made and it's a player plus cash.
Plus cash, yeah, that's good business.
And if you're in Leicester's shoes, is there any players that you would take, or would you be seeking to get the full 70 million rumoured or 60 to 70 million rumoured fee?
I mean, that's what I asked which London club, because I don't know.
What they got to offer as well.
Yeah, what they got to offer, and who's got the might to go right now and get 70 million and spend on a player. I think like Tottenham can do it, but again, that's all pending on this whole Kane thing. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy, because he hasn't turned up training. So obviously he's trying to force that move. So possibly the transfer fee from that. I mean, the only other club I know that can do it without having to sell any players is Chelsea. But like you said, they've got hella midfield talent.
That's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't hurt them getting more. I mean, if you remember a few seasons ago when they got Drinkwater, they didn't really need him. But they brought him. They brought him in. Yeah. Ross Barkley.
And they spent a decent bit on him as well.
Yeah, and Ross Barkley, like
same thing.
Chelsea, do you know what? They're very good. For them, having players is not a problem, because they'll just loan them out.
So you'd think it's more Chelsea than Tottenham then?
It could work both. It could. I mean, Tottenham one's definitely dependent on the Kane deal.
Yeah, and if they get that money, Tottenham, then they will blow us out the water in terms of if they was interested in Maddison. So
exactly.
Should we speed proceedings up? Because if it is them and it all hinges on the Kane, deal and whatnot.
But bro,
we don't want to be in a position where we leave all our eggs in one basket and then by the end of the window we lose out and we're left with nothing, or plan C, D.
Plan CD, which we already know them plans already, bro.
Yeah, we already know. It's come full circle. We're going to touch on that. 100%, the Xhaka news and whatnot. If you're Leicester, who are you looking at Arsenal in terms of the names I just mentioned and maybe a couple more that's available as someone you would take?
I think they could. I mean, Maitland-Niles is obvious.
Yeah.
I also think like they could develop a player like Reece Nelson. Like I feel like they could look at him and think, you know what? Let's give him a chance here. Let's be real, yeah. Leicester are a great team, or a good team, should I say, yeah. A good club. Not the size of Arsenal. Okay, given they've won the Premier League a lot more recent than us, but let's be real, they're not Arsenal. Yeah. Playing for them is less pressure. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And a man like Reece Nelson could go over there and flourish. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially if they get in him for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, that he could go over there and flourish. Like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Oh, did you say Willock as well?
Yeah, Willock was part of them names mentioned.
Oh,
yeah.
swear, yeah. Willock's an obvious one there as well. He's probably the more ready-made out of all them names. Don't you think?
Probably no. I thought Willock straight away, and then I thought to myself, would Willock get the opportunities he needs there? He can't if he can't get them here. Will he get it there? Because who would you say if he goes? I'd say he's behind the Tillemans.
Box to box.
It's hard to.
But
then Leicester are smart with their transfers. Leicester buy more time a season before and then sell a season after, and they've already got a ready-made replacement there. There was rumours around Tillmans this summer.
Yeah.
It turned to Maddison all of a sudden. But
also got to remember as well, they're in Europe, so increasing their squad makes sense. So it doesn't have to be like a like for like or a replacement. It could just be someone because they're in Europe, you know what I'm saying? And plus they lose an A player.
Is Willock worth the most out of all these names?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
What are you saying in terms of value?
And it's gonna sound crazy, but in this market, add English tax to it, get about 30 mil for him. 30 mil. Like, I mean, other clubs do it to us.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying? Other clubs do it to us, so it might sound ridiculous, but yeah, 30 in the 30 mil range, even more possibly. Do you know what I'm saying? But it depends who. I wouldn't really do that, you know. Like I would get the cash from Newcastle, and then offer Maitland-Niles or Reece Nelson.
Because obviously with Newcastle, Willock will mean more to them.
Of course,
Leicester,
he's
proven
more
out of it.
Yeah, he's proven. True.
And but Ainsley Maitland-Niles hasn't had much interest this summer. Eddie Nketiah hasn't had much interest this summer. Reece Nelson even hasn't had much interest.
Right. But it depends also, like if
then again, if the rumours are to be believed, I don't know if we'd get all the cash from Newcastle this summer. You know, all of that, some now
HP
or loan
stuff.
to obligation to buy and all that.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what the sticking point is with that.
They had that last season. You saw, try before you buy. You tried him last season. He kept you up.
Yeah, big goals, big games.
He kept you up. Simple as that.
Big goals, big games.
They should. I mean, I'm seeing some of their fans' comments like they love him there. They want him back.
Yeah.
But the question is how much you're willing to pay, because he's, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, add the English tax to it, add the fact of what he done when he went there. So he didn't just go on loan. He went on loan and saved them. He was on some Superman thing there. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Easily upwards 30.
He did still a lot of last 15-minute goals.
Yeah.
A lot of big goals.
Big goals. So
I'm with you on that. So you'd seek to get the most value out of Newcastle if he is up.
Right.
If he is up, and obviously we're going to touch on the news of Xhaka's contract later. But that also plays a part, in my opinion, in him. Listen, they're not like for like Willock and Xhaka, but Xhaka starting majority of games will also hamper Willock's,
100%.
In a sense, because that's where he plays.
Yeah.
And without European football and only domestic competitions this season, we haven't got an abundance of, we haven't got that Europa League group stage to get all of the players where they're not on the fringes of the team playing.
And is he gonna be wanting to play in the League Cup all the time? He's tasted the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's tasted it. He's like, yeah, I'm ready for it now.
And a lot of people think it's harsh when we talk about, the young players at Arsenal in this manner. And listen, I give credit to Willock, because I thought Willock wouldn't develop like he has done at Newcastle. But I've also looked at Arsenal, let's say last summer, where Eddie Nketiah and Ainsley Maitland-Niles were probably at full value then, and we failed to capitalise. Do you think Joe Willock's at full value now in terms of his Arsenal career? Or do you think if we held on to him, he could potentially grow into a better, bigger player?
I think you got to look at, I think to make an assessment of things, sometimes you got to look in the past.
Yeah.
And in the past, like you've said, we haven't capitalised on the Nketiahs when we should have. Like even go as far back as like Alexis Sanchez or even Ozil. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you've got these players now, like as you said, like Willock is in his prime Arsenal value. Like unless he has a mad season, I don't think he's gonna be able to top the season he had last season. And then, like you said, you've got Granit Xhaka, who's probably gonna hamper,
and Lokonga's coming.
And Lokonga's coming. Who's probably gonna hamper his development, and he's not gonna want to play in the League Cup. So yeah, I will do the business now. Like the time for sentiment is over.
Yeah.
It's time to do the business. Like, we've got to be more ruthless sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were ruthless with Martinez. You know what I mean? That hasn't turn out well, but nonetheless, that ruthlessness was needed at some point. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got to carry that on.
Yeah, I agree. And we got a super chat here from KD. Listen, big up everyone in the chat. There's 3,500 watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button and continue getting your questions, thoughts in. Obviously, we was deep in conversation there for 10 minutes. But KD says, question to Turkish. Hypothetically speaking, if we get Maddison or Odegaard and Martinez, do you think it's a good window? Forget Xhaka's renewal. Is it good? I was speaking to Stricto about this just prior to the stream. And I said, going into the transfer window, none of us really expected Xhaka to be on the chopping block. We all thought Xhaka was going to be a part of the 21-22 squad. There wasn't no rumours about him wanting to leave, Arteta having had enough of him. We all thought he's going to be here until the Roma rumours all of a sudden came about. When the Roma rumours came about, that's when all of the hope a lot of people had that we might sell at last. It got raised and now it's been dashed again. So it's not dependent on Xhaka leaving this transfer window. It is dependent on multiple people leaving, and Xhaka was one of them. But if we in the next few weeks were to get a Maddison and Odegaard and a Martinez and fill 2 vital positions, and also get rid of a Bellerin, Eddie Nketiah, Maitland-Niles, and a few players that are on the fringes and hold some value maybe, then I'd say it's a good window for sure. Even with those names just coming in, it'd be a very good window. Finishing 8th twice and getting Maddison and Martinez, No,
definitely, definitely a good. Like you said, the window is dependent on so many factors. It's not just the players you get in, but also the dead weights, bro. Like the ones who are actually sinking their weight is what's making the ship sink that much faster. Bellerin, those guys, you can shift those guys, get anything for those guys. Look, the team has taken the L, 2 8 finishes in 2 seasons, yeah? The fans have taken the L. We've been taking L's, what am I talking about? Yeah. And I think it's time for the club to take it L. If you can't sell these players for the desired price, then whatever they're given, do it.
Get it done.
Get them off the wage bill.
Get it done 100%. And we've got a few people, so these two are a good combination. Come on, big up love for the support, big up Strix as well, we got in the chat. Like I said, continue coming with the questions and thoughts. On the Maddison topic, Josh earlier actually said to me, and it's a fair point, do you see Maddison as too similar to Emile Smith-Rowe? Or do you think they can exist in the same squad? And then if you say yes, then what happens to, let's say, a Pepe in that scenario? Because it's a bit like, he made a good point. He never made a good point. And he said for that reason alone, he'd go for Odegaard, who was also cheaper and younger, but he said, for the reason that Odegaard's very different to Emile Smith-Rowe, and we've just committed to Emile Smith-Rowe, he'd prefer to go for that Odegaard type than Maddison, who he thinks is too similar. I
mean, would you have Smith-Rowe out wide?
But he got moved there a lot when Odegaard come in onto the left, and in some games he done well. But if you're giving him the 10, and his best positions
is the 10,
is the attacking mid 10 position.
Would you? You see, the Maddison deal for me, like I go back to when I first heard it, and as glorious as it sounded at the time, I was kind of like, raw. Actually, do we need Maddison like that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's.
Don't get me wrong. I will take him to the player. Don't like, we're not turning our noses up.
Definitely
we're just trying to make sense of it.
Right. Trying to take the meat off the bones, as they say in it. Like when I first seen it, I was like, but I think my excitement would have been different if he was cheaper. Yeah. Do you understand? If he was in like 40-50 million pound mark, 70.
And then you're hearing Odegaard's around 40.
And then you got to kind of like think, all right, cool. Odegaard came, didn't really blow the mind out when he came, but he done well. Don't get it twisted. He done well, but for the price that Real Madrid are giving and the age and captain of his country, international, club he's coming from, it makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? It makes sense, but I could do with skipping Maddison if I'm being real. Might be controversial, but...
And is that for Odegaard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, people, I want to ask you guys as well in the chat. Actually, we got a super chat here. Let me get this in before we move on to what I was going to ask. Oz, big up Oz, come on, big supporter. Says, remember Nabry, remember Daniel Malin, remember Benacer as well, remember Martinez, and that's Emi Martinez. All these players in the last decade totaling over 200 million in market value right now. Willock needs 1 season. So obviously he's saying, you know, hold on to Willock a bit longer and maybe we'll bear the fruits of that decision later on down the line, and not just in transfer value, you know, maybe in terms of playing and developing and being part of the squad moving forward.
His production.
Because that position, again, in my opinion, hasn't been amended as it should have this summer. So again, there's questions that's going to be asked. Go on.
Sorry, what do you think Arteta is going to do? Like,
in what position?
With Willock.
I think he's going to get... You know what? It reminds me of what happened with Martinez last summer. I think they failed to act early with Maitland-Niles and Eddie Nketiah. They needed some money for Thomas Partey, and then they sold Emi Martinez at 17 mil, and we probably would have been better off holding on to him or, you know, getting more money from him if we touted him a bit earlier in the window. I think we're going to need some money from somewhere to get 1 or 2 of these names over the line, and Willock is going to... We just said who's the most valuable, and it is Joe Willock at the moment, you know, and that's even ahead of our 28-year-old central midfielder. You know, Willock is the most valuable player we've got at the moment.
Proven.
In terms of, on the market.
The market,
So I think Willock will in the end go.
So you think Arteta's making that? I mean, someone's got to go for someone to come in.
It's a shame now, because if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have said, yeah, Willock should be sold this summer. If you ask me now, I kind of think if we acted proper as a club, then I wouldn't want to sell Joe Willock, because he's actually one of the young players that have actually shown something on one of the loans they've went on and deserves, maybe, you know. He's had a chance in the squad before, but maybe he was young and the squad was in turmoil, so he deserves another one. But at the same time, if we need money to improve now, it's not fair on him, and it's not fair on the fans really, but it's the club putting themselves in this situation.
Business is business, bro. It's not personal.
But we haven't even got that right over the years. That's the killer, you know. We make it make sense, and
make it make sense.
It very rarely does. Saeem says, can you guys give your thoughts on formations if Maddison and Martinez come in, and what are each of your favourite right backs we can realistically sign? Quickly on the right back front, who are you saying?
Do you know what? Forget that, you know, obviously we was all clouded with the defeat the other day on Sunday. Was it Sunday?
Yeah.
Do you know who impressed me? Who kind of went under the radar? Nuno Tavares.
Oh, Tavares. And he said he can play right, but it's not natural for him.
Listen, that boy didn't come here to be second fiddle to no one, you know. Like, he literally...
In the games he's played, I'll give it to him. In the games he's played, if you just watch him, he seems very much on it to prove himself. He's hungry.
He's
got
driven.
A goal, which is not his responsibility, but he got a goal.
He's driven
on his right foot.
He's driven. Like I would try him out there, you know. I would try him out there because he looks quite fast, quite strong. Everything that Bellerin isn't.
I need to see more of him in terms of how he is on his right foot, and if he is comfortable enough to drive on it. Because if he is comfortable enough to drive on it, because the big thing about fullbacks is you need them to have that, you know, what's he going to do? Is he going to drive out or is he going to come in? If you got a left, that's where Cedric struggles on the left-hand side. Because people know he wants to cut in. So I want to see Tavares.
Look at Bellerin.
Listen,
He's shaped one way.
I'm not talking. Trust me, my bro. I'm not talking about my guy Bellerin there. I'd put Tavares ahead of him.
And he's our right back. And he's our main right back. Do you get me? So I wouldn't really worry about what Nuno could do with his right foot.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, if we're talking Bellerin, I'll put him above Bellerin. 100%.
You know,
Chambers, I think, has shocked me on one hand, but at the same time hasn't done enough for me to say long term he's our answer. Because when he came back in, I didn't expect much of him, and he done all right on the right side. Cedric, Arteta bought, which doesn't make sense to me. You bought him, and when you bought him, you actually said he's technically our best fullback. And then a year later, he's our third, sometimes fourth choice fullback or right back. It hasn't made sense to me, and we've given him a big contract last summer as well.
It's quite senseless, but you know, we have to address that right back issue. Like, it's so weak down that side, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so weak.
In my opinion, I don't think there's a... Listen, Hakimi's a pipe dream, obviously, and that's already down the drain. Obviously, he's gone to PSG. But in terms of realistic, Lamptey was touted a lot, but I'd probably prefer to go for Max Aarons because he's a bigger build, and I just feel like he's been about a bit more. But again, I'm not guaranteed that Max Aarons is going to come in and change it. It's just something needs to happen to that right-hand side.
But you know, you're talking about Chambers. Like, he's another one that I think his time at Arsenal.
He's got 11 months left on his contract.
Yeah, that we got kind of.
Wait, let me think.
Yeah, he's coming to the end of his contract. I think we've got to get rid of. Like, I think the guys. Okay, I know he's had mad injuries at his time at Arsenal, but he hasn't really cemented anything.
We got Robbie here trolling, saying Stricto wants El Nene over Maddison.
Bro, put some respect on his name. It's all I'll ever say on Nene.
We got Robbie in the building. We got another super chat here saying decent window, but we dug our grave, paying big money to average players we end up stuck with, unable to sell, terrible management from the top. Hashtag Kroenke out. It is very true. It does stem all from the top, but these decisions are made by the people that Kroenke hires. And we just talked about Cedric there. He got given a big contract last summer, and in that same season, he finds himself behind a returning centre back.
Yeah.
The right back that the manager admitted you're technically better than.
Yeah.
And also, I believe Maitland-Niles played there ahead of him a couple of times early on.
Didn't he?
Maybe
half
of the season.
Yeah, maybe half.
So I think to myself, like, well, you know, what the hell is going on? Because I believe he's on 100k or around that figure, close to.
The mismanagement is crazy, bro. The mismanagement.
On one hand, we get rid of, an Ozil with a big contract who isn't producing for one reason or another. Then we give it to Oba, and then he turns to not produce since that contract. Then you have...
and they give to Willian.
Then you have the Cedric one, for example. It's like a Kolasinac one, where Kolasinac came in, we gave him a big contract because he was free, and within a year or two, it was deemed that he wasn't, good enough to take us forward. Yeah. Cedric... I'm not saying he is not good enough, but what I'm saying is, it seems like another decision that's cost us money.
Every decision they make is killing us, bro. Literally every decision they make is killing us.
It's mad. It's mad. People, hit the like button. We're only on 500 likes. There's 4.5k in the building. Andy,
the likes.
Come on, G. Andy says, I already said 1 month ago, Xhaka won't leave. Yeah, White Hardy said that as well. I have a feeling Xhaka was bought for his political background. Arsenal made a documentary about it 4 years ago. He will retire here. That's my speculation. I'm not too sure what you're talking about in terms of the documentary, but okay. I don't know how you search that. Xhaka documentary, Arsenal. I'll try and see if I can find that, Andy. But big up you. If you're ever on my channel, you can let me know there because I can go through the comments a lot easier. Alex says Oba is not good anymore. He's not helping as the captain, and a good captain should be helping the manager do the dirty work, and he is not doing that. We should plan now and look for a striking alternative. On that point, I feel like it's I'm not saying you're wrong, Alex. You're right. You are right. But would it be unfair to criticize Oba for being captain when in reality we know he's not captain material?
He got a default, by the way.
And he got it by default. And the thing is, the default I actually agree with, because at that time he was the only one that we kind of had a rapport with. And the way Xhaka, treated the armband, it was like you have to give it to someone that's got rapport with the fans now.
Yeah.
So it was actually probably the right decision at the time, but now it's like it's another factor that people can say is holding us back.
He's not a leader. I wouldn't, like, if you look at like the leaders we've had like over the years, I wouldn't really put him there. Like, he's a footballer, obviously, but he's a striker, obviously, forward. But in terms of like his leadership quality, I don't really see it. Like, I don't even see it on the pitch. I feel like he's always the first one whose head goes down when things aren't going too well, and he's the captain, bro.
Yeah.
He's the captain. Like, I see a few times when shit's going tough, his head's just down.
What do you make of last season, how a lot of different players conducted pre-match and post-match press conferences and whatnot? Because a few people talked about it. I mentioned it a few times where Maitland-Niles would be in one, Tierney would be in one, then you'd have maybe a Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, and then the Oba and so on. It was very sporadic. Is that something to look into, or do you think it's...
Nah, I think it's just media, innit? It's just trying to,
But the club sends the player.
Yeah,
shouldn't it be Oba all the time? Or
I think you gotta mix it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think various reasons. You never know. A player might games ended and the player's gone into the treatment room.
This season coming up, if you had to choose a player you want to hear from after every game of the season, Who would you pick?
Teeny.
Yeah, I'd definitely pick the same guy.
Because I feel like he's just an honest guy. Like he would
I'd pick the same
he would
guy.
just say it straight. None of the all that media training stuff that they come out and say. I just feel like, because you know them Scottish guys are mad honest, like brutally honest. Like he would just
blunt,
say,
very
they're just
blunt.
blunt. Yeah, we was shit. Obviously, you won't say. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
You won't say shit. Yeah,
I think worse has been said. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
He would just go, yeah, we're good enough. You know, like that kind of. See, he's a leader.
Yeah.
Like Teeny
by
is
example and
vocally.
Yeah.
Vocally, you know, like I feel like he's the type to just kind of would kick a man up the arse and just come out and say, yo, this and the other.
And he's 2 years in now, right? Yeah, 2019, 2 years in now.
And I feel like he came in with that.
Yeah, he came in with that. It grew last season again, a year in, and that's something I want to see from Partey too. We're going to talk about Partey soon, but a year in, I know he's been unlucky with injuries.
Yeah.
But I want him to realise that, listen, this squad needs leadership and they need the characters, and I can be the one with Tierney, because Tierney needs someone else too. It can't all be done by him.
Yeah, of course.
Ellen here says, yes, Turkish, what are you saying, my G? Still running that baseball bat from the weekend.
I remember that comment.
Maddison signing for us is a big state of intent, and defo sends a message. It will defo send a message. And Jorge says, Max Aarons or a proper right back may be the only thing that makes me think this was a good window. Hashtag Xhaka, hashtag Arteta, hashtag Kroenke out, and hashtag sell Arsenal. And on the Thomas Partey situation, a couple of people have come out today online and said, you know, he's definitely going to miss the Brentford game, and some have said he's unlikely for Chelsea City, and some have said he's likely to come back for one of them. How big a loss is that?
Big loss. You saw it on Sunday.
Yeah, you actually saw it in 190 minutes.
You saw it.
Yeah, you did.
You know, it's kind of crazy that one man's absence can cause such a flipping, what's the word, bro? Like literally just one man in one position.
But when you analyze his first 40 minutes, he broke up play.
Yep.
He distributed. He broke the lines.
Yep. And created.
Yeah, so actually he
was everything.
He was everything. So when he went off, we actually lost it.
Yeah, so it's a big loss. It's a massive loss.
Was that his best 40? Because for me, it was his best 40 minutes. It was best performance in an Arsenal shirt so far.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
It's only pre-season, but there was good Chelsea players out on that pitch, and in that first half, they was on it. They was rough with a lot of players. They wasn't having it.
It was a game.
Yeah, it was a game.
Forget the fact it was Chelsea versus Arsenal. Like you said, it was his best performance. I think I agree with that. Just based on his positioning, his intent, and his intensity, come on,
top notch.
Come on, can't ask for more than that.
Hopefully he gets back sooner the better, because it doesn't look like we're getting a new central midfield player. We're going to move on to that next. We're half an hour in. We're 250 likes away from 1,000. Get it up to 1,000 people. 4,600 watching. Saim again says, Oba's getting into positions and making the right runs. Yes, I'll give him that, definitely. The first half especially, Partey was finding Oba a lot. Then Tierney was overlapping, and that's where a few chances were created. Attempted that bicycle kick too. Oh yeah, that was in the other game when they hit the bar and someone finished it.
What was that against? That one?
No, that wasn't against Chelsea.
Okay, the Celtic or something.
Which I guess indicates confidence and whatnot. Fair enough. All he needs is a goal. Whenever he's missed recently, you can tell he's unnerved. Imagine selling him and he hits form. For me, that's, post-match against Chelsea, I said that regardless of Oba having a poor pre-season, that's where we want you to be poor, get your rustiness and misses out of the way. And then We've got Tottenham left in between, and a goal against Tottenham, pre-season or not, erases all of these games. And
that's Viagra.
Yeah, confidence and morale-wise. Confidence and morale-wise, you don't need no more heading into the season. Big up Pippa as well with a super chat. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble.
No, Pip's get it right. I'll be in big trouble.
Caps lock, Pip. That's what we needed for the big. Big up Stricto and Turkish. This show makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you.
Ask her about the jollof rice the other day.
Swear down while you're hooking her up with jollof.
Come on.
But you don't hook man up though.
But I got you, man. Don't worry. I got you.
Now you got me all of a sudden live. Nah, man.
Because you're never hungry though.
Remember he said that. I can take you home, my guy.
Sure.
I can take you home, my guy. I got microwave and that. Nah, put your hand down over there, man.
It's Nigerian jollof in it, so yeah, man. It's something different. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I have that. Big up Pippa. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are enjoying. I don't know if this stream is going to take a left turn or not, but we're going to head over to Granit Xhaka news. Let's see what Fabrizio Romano said a bit earlier on today. He did tweet about it. Let me just find it now because I don't know where we are.
Pippa said the jollof was proper.
Yeah,
Where is it? Let me see. Pippa's replied. Pippa said the jollof was proper.
yeah, I had to show her, bro. I had to
Love
show
her
her.
eyes, the lot.
I had to show her.
Come on. Was it you? Did you make it? Yeah.
Nah, I got, you know, my people's them in it. Like she was talking about Ghanaian jollof in it. So I was like, you know what?
Let me show you.
Let me just show you something.
Let me show you.
You know, it's like it's kind of like, you know, when Tevez when City, and it was like welcome to Manchester.
Yeah.
So her jollof, it was like welcome to eating jollof for the first time ever.
What are you saying? The original, yeah.
The original, yeah.
Let me see what Fabrizio's saying here. I've had Sierra Leonean jollof as well. You know?
They bang as well,
Yeah,
you know.
bang
They know that
still.
they bang. They
Bang,
underrated. Underrated.
It is.
Underrated. I won't lie.
It is. I didn't have that one till late on. Like I grew up with the Ghana and the Nigerian.
Yeah. Big up my brother Calvin as well. He put me onto the Sierra Leonean jollof still.
Swear down, come on.
Big up Calvin.
Come on. Let's see. Fabrizio Romano, the mood is definitely going to change from nice jollof to Granit Xhaka contract. Fabrizio says Granit Xhaka new contract with Arsenal will be until June 2025 with an increased salary, confirmed and completed with his agents after Roma talk collapsed. New deal also expected to be announced soon by Arsenal, as James Bench has confirmed.
You know what they should do? Just to add Maggie to the jollof that we're talking about. Do one of them promo vids that they did with Abba, like them announcement vids. you know, like all through the Euros, everyone was like, like let's start looking for Xhaka's replacement, bro. We replaced Xhaka with Xhaka, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. What did I say at the beginning of the stream? It's like we dropped him off, we drove round the block, looked at all of the windows and said, nah, let's pick him up again.
Get in,
man.
Jack,
get back in, my guy.
Granit,
The space is still here. It's mad. It is mad to me, and
the life of
a key part of why that's mad is it says pay increase as well. How do you go from actively wanting to sell the player and wanting 20 million to giving a contract extension and a pay rise? I'm not too sure.
But he's got one hell of an agent, bro. His agent's mean. In this.
Do you think it's the club taking? Remember when the club said we won't let any other players go into the last 2 years of their contract? And then they let a couple go into the last two, well, more than a couple now. Do you think it's them trying to show us they're being smart? Because a lot of fans have said, funnily enough, retain value when at his most valuable this summer, no one wants to pay 20 million. But do you think it's the club trying to be smart, or do you think all the eggs are in the Maddison basket, so they're trying to secure that central midfield area up with what they have and hope that maybe Martinez from Inter or the Maddison deal or Odegaard does enough this season to achieve something?
No, I think simply what might have swayed it as well would have been his performance in the Euros. And probably hearing a couple people saying, do you know what, keep him, why sell him? Who are we gonna get to replace what he's been doing in the Euros? And I think they kind of looked at that and thought, you know what, if a club like Roma won him, we don't really want to really get rid of him. Might as well keep him. You know, like it's that's my opinion. That's what I think they've done. They've kind of looked like, you know,
based off of that,
you know, the guy had an amazing Euros. Like he was unrecognizable. Man dyed his hair, done everything. I was playing like
man of the match against France.
And bro. So yeah, I think they're kind of running off of that. And do you know what? If he's going to produce like how he done in the Euros, then by all means, you know, keep him.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. He's never produced like that.
Obviously he's got a lot more invested in Switzerland than he has Arsenal. I know, like with Granit Xhaka and Arsenal, and maybe not Arsenal, but Arsenal fans, it's kind of there's something there on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely something there on both sides, and I just think it's created a cloud and an aura that, you know, would have been better suited parting ways. That's just what I feel. Yeah,
because he's divisive.
That's just, like, you know,
extremely divisive.
Obviously, the club, if they are going to put all their eggs in the Maddison and Martinez basket and improve the attack before the midfield next summer maybe or whatnot, then it better go right.
Yeah.
They better have that impact.
100%.
Andy here says, every rival fan is happy that we are extending Xhaka's contract. That says a lot about him. I will switch off my TV when he plays. Sounds like Thierry Henry. You two will be switching off your TV at the same time. KD here says, I have a feeling Arteta will get sacked by December or even before. Arsenal will finally might get a big. That's such an Arsenal way to put something. Finally might get a big name coach, because you're right. It's still not finally, or it's definitely might get a big name coach. Conte. I still doubt that. But what do you think? What do you think of this season? Do you think there's any? Do you believe that Arteta will be sacked by December, or do you?
Hey, what? Last season when I was calling for his head.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kept telling me, he ain't even had a pre-season.
Yeah.
Pre-season. We're here now. Well, this is Arteta's pre-season. This is the pre-season that everyone has dashed at me when I was calling for his head. But you know what? I'm gonna go into the new season on a clean. I'm going to try to clean my slate as much as possible, but it's so
by
bad.
Force, you kind of like to give yourself any sort of. You have to. You
know, and like I think the only thing Arteta's got on his side right now is that it can't possibly be worse, or can it?
I kind of agree with you, because 8th, 9th, 10th, 7th, 11th, it's all the same to me in terms of your mid-table.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were talking about bantering about relegation in the first half of last season, but I don't ever see that happening.
Bro, I was one of them. You know, I didn't even banter. That shit was real to me.
Some said that.
That shit was real to me.
But you know what? I never envisioned us falling off this far when I was, celebrating Invincibles and trophies before that.
Right, and now here we are. I was legit worried about relegation because I couldn't see any difference from us and the team that was sitting 18th or 7th. I couldn't see any difference.
It was close them times.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely close. That October, November, December run, my day. Sam here says Xhaka's an amazing player and a leader. Give him the captaincy back. I love the guy.
That guy you want war at the Emirates. That's what he wants.
Either Sam's an op or he's just.
He's a warmonger. Now Sam's a warmonger.
he wants to
hey Sam. Sam's a warmonger.
Alex says, I see Xhaka as the only person in that team who can talk to the young lads. He has leadership skills and our young player needs someone like him. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that all that stuff gets over. Bro, the young players don't even play. What you need to talk to them for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like who's who? Nah. That's overplayed. Laka does that. A lot of the young players gravitate towards.
Yeah, it's normal practice for the experienced players in any squad, to be an arm over the shoulder of young players in any squad. Yeah. It's just that at Arsenal, like you've just mentioned, so I'm not going to just say Xhaka here because Lacazette too and Oba's another one. The leadership and experience all round has been wrong. So as much as yes, they are putting an arm around the younger players' shoulders, is it an arm that's going to help them develop, push them on, motivate them? I don't necessarily think so, because over the past 3 years we've evidently seen that hasn't been the case. Yes, the young players have got better, but they've got better because they've had to take on more responsibility, because the older and more experienced players are either taking on less responsibility or shying away from it. Right. So I don't understand how,
what okay, let's use that logic, yeah? What can Bellerin, a senior player, tell Saka? You make mistakes every week in, week out. Like the biggest arm you could have as an older player is by your performance. That's essentially what the youngers look at. Like, do you know what? The way just watching how Xhaka's playing, how his movement.
They lead by example.
You lead by example. It's not by your words like, oh yeah, head up. Most time you're telling a man to keep his head up because you fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's all leadership. Leadership is made primarily by example.
If anything, a lot of the experienced players in the side, including the names I've just mentioned, have kind of left the youngsters out to dry sometimes.
Exactly.
That's how I see it, and it's lucky enough that we've had a good crop of youngsters come through who have taken that opportunity not to fall but to stand up, like Saka, Evans, Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, and Kieran Tierney coming in, and a few other names here and there. With the Kroenkes in charge, you could have a prime Sir Alex Ferguson as manager and he wouldn't be able to make it work. The shackles come from above. Yes and no, because Ferguson did some mad things with some teams and winning the title them times. How Xhaka signs up for another contract when he knows the vibes, unreal. They're trying to appease the media by signing English players, easy grab. And that's another thing, you know. I think Xhaka's been open about his time and his relationship with the fans. And listen, I'm against online abuse and sending death threats, sending
family and
racial
all that.
abuse
Yeah.
to him, family, all that nonsense.
That's
yeah,
scummish.
I hate that.
That's all weird.
I hate that. I get that myself, and I can only imagine someone with millions of followers how much they get of it. So I'm against that. But you can also see there's problems with fans in terms of fans not thinking he's doing enough or he's not good enough, and him thinking, you know, the fans are putting it all on him. We saw it all, you know, break out with the captaincy thing and all that. But I just feel like for him, if it is such a bad place, why would you sign another contract?
That's a great question, because didn't he say he didn't want to be here? Like during when the whole Roma thing was, he was quite happy to
He
want to
flirted,
leave.
yeah, he did flirt, yeah.
But he more than flirted.
Yeah,
he took
yeah.
her home.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? He more than flirted. So yeah, why? Then again, when they're improving the money, but money says, bro,
that is that is it. That is it.
Money does a lot. You know
That
what I'm
is
saying? Money can quiet the most loudest guy, bro.
That is it. It has to be that.
So
It has to be that. Simon here says, how worried are you guys over our inability to shift out the dead wood over the years? It seems we have literal dead guys on the sidelines. Big up. I said it seems like.
who's that? Who said that?
Simon.
Bro, that's how I feel, you know. Bro, that is literally how I feel, bro. Like, no heart, like,
Yeah.
what are the things they use, doctor use?
My bag's up there as well. In the other room.
Oh.
Sorry, people, I was just talking to someone behind the camera.
Oh, God, that put a tear
Was
in
he
my
getting
eye.
locked up? Say nothing. Say nothing.
That put a tear
But
in
how
my eye.
worried are you?
What, with the dead, that we got dead people?
Yeah, that dead wood or dead on the sides.
Bro, of course it's worrying, because you know, I think the best club to look at is Liverpool in this situation.
Yeah.
How Liverpool are able to sell players and then use that money to buy better quality players, because at the minimum, their deadwoods are sellable, or what they might class as deadwoods are sellable. Ours, really, you couldn't even sell them to a table to fix as a chair as wood, bro. Like you couldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is, like I said to you earlier, like we can't really get more in now, because we need to get these.
Because you spent about 78 million.
Right.
What have we received? Nothing this summer, because Guendouzi's fee comes in next summer. I think we got $1 million up front and then 11 mil or 10 mil next summer.
Right. But okay.
So essentially, we spent 70 plus mil.
Minus 1 mil.
Yeah, without nothing back.
Or plus 1 mil, should I say? The deadwood is a big problem, but again, it goes back to these players. You know, we're buying deadwood.
Yeah.
Essentially, we're buying deadwood for crazy amount of money, and for love nor money can we sell these deadwoods for any amount of money.
So I'll tell you what we do. We just give them a new contract.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
No one wants them, so we might as well.
we might as well flirt with them.
So we might as well say, yeah, why not? Pick him back up. Let me see what the chat is saying. Get Stricto on more straight away. Come on.
Come on.
Stricto, nice banter. This guy's hilarious. Come on. Lots of love for Stricto. Do you have a channel or anything?
Yeah, bro. You know, I had a channel, and I just built it to like 800, and you know the William Saliba
Video thing.
Bro, I foolishly when I posted it on my
flipping
YouTube took it down, bro. But yeah, I do have a channel. Follow is subscribe. Sorry, Stricto Strict. New content coming this season, so yeah, follow me.
So is that a fresh channel then?
Fresh channel, yeah.
Okay, say nothing.
Fresh channel, yeah.
Say nothing. Christian here says, I think Ober is a leader to others, but I don't think he has those leadership characteristics, and I think he should give it back. Give it back. Give it to Tierney. That's kind of the only way. I mentioned it a few weeks ago on this News Daily. I kind of said, you can't take it off a man. I feel like, if anything, he'd have to come out and say, listen,
I'll hold it for now.
Tierney is or come out and say, Tierney is I believe Tierney deserves it more, or I believe Tierney would be better suited to it. That's the only way it happens gracefully.
Yeah.
Do you think it? Nah, but he won't. But I don't think someone could do that and not be criticised and not like a cop out. A lot of people will then go on Ober's back saying, like, you You crumbled, you choked.
Basically, I mean, and that's exactly what it would look like, you know, like all of that great stuff, leave that stuff for the movies. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just, you either die with that armband or it gets taken off of you. Do you know what I'm saying?
But we've seen as well how, you know, this nice guy approach at taking penalties as well. You know, one moment Oba will let Laka will let Oba will let Pepe will let Laka. We've seen that over the past. I mean, is it a lack of ruthlessness as well?
Nah, I think that's. Do you remember when Pires and Henry used to do that? When if Pires got the penalty, Henry would take it and
there was a thing about that. Yeah, there was like, no, if you win it, you don't take, or some, was it that?
Yeah, if you win it, you don't take it. I think, but but if you have a ruthless striker, you know, like your Ronaldo, who, I mean,
that's what I like.
He takes everything, bro.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Like there's no two ways about it. He just, like, whether you fouled me, whether my grandma got fouled, I'm taking it. Like, or your grandma got fouled, I'm taking it.
I'll still go down and claim for it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you know, so like. It's just been an Arsenal thing, innit? Like it's not a new. As far as you score it, that's all I give a shit about, bro.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts. And last but not least, I think we should end on a positive, which I don't often do. Listen, usually people say it's negative shows and whatnot. I think this one's been pretty lively.
Yeah, of course.
I think this one's been a good show,
Stricto
people.
on Turkish, come on.
We've hit 1K likes already. We've got a super chat coming. 1K likes in 40 minutes. Big up to you both. Deadwood is sellable when it performs. Performances are the manager's problem, so Arteta is literally costing us in that aspect too, I guess. Love for the love, though. Love for the love as always, people. Come on. And love for hitting 1K likes nice and early. And the positive I want to end on is Martinelli. He scored in the penalty shootout. Was it last night? Yesterday?
Yep.
Got them into the final.
Yep. Well done, Gabby.
Spain have joined them in the final, I believe, today.
What a game.
So Brazil-Spain final.
What a game.
He buried his penalty as well. Buried it. Confident. Stepped up. Bang.
And then, so at the end on a negative. And then to see the bench when he comes back.
Listen.
Do you know, that's not even positive or negative. That's real shit, bro.
Yeah, it's real shit. It's real shit. You know what it is? They're in the final, so he's going to miss the start of the season. Yeah. But how much do you think, how much importance do you put on this season for Gabriel Martinelli? Because he came out recently and spoke about, or he mentioned Arteta in a positive manner again, saying we've got a good coach and good team and good future and whatnot. So he's saying, whether it's PR or not, he's saying the right things, and he doesn't seem like someone upset. Like with Guendouzi, you could see he's not happy. Saliba, you could see he's not. Martinelli, as much as we will talk about him not being in favour with Arteta might not like, whatever, it doesn't seem like that from him. So this season now, how important is it for him, and how much do you expect to see him? I
mean, the season for him is based on Arteta. You know, I don't think there's any much more he can.
That's why then when we talk about Maddison and when we talk about these players here, it just adds more bodies to a position where right now I feel like the majority of fans want to see Pepe play next season, right?
Yeah.
The majority of fans want to see Xhaka play next season.
Big season. Yeah.
The majority of fans want to see Emile Smith-Rowe next season.
Bigger season.
The majority of fans want to also see Martinelli this season. That's 4 people we all want to see in 3 positions. On top of that, it looks like we're getting Maddison or Odegaard, which will be 5 man in 3 positions. So are we potentially going for the wrong area of the pitch? Should we be giving Martinelli more of a chance and sticking with Emile Smith-Rowe and maybe going for the Martinez as striker and then the right back instead of the attacking mid? Or
I mean,
it's
I mean, whatever it is, it's got to be different from whatever we've been doing.
Yeah.
Did you get it? I love Martinelli. I can't lie. The guy's an assassin.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like he literally. You got to look at it like this with Martinelli. When you're a defender, you know, or the opposition wing back, you don't want to face him because he doesn't let you rest. Yeah. He's got that Suarez thing about him where he just bites, and 90 minutes of that, bro. Like you're gonna cave in at some point.
Off the ball, and when he's on the ball, he always drives.
Exactly.
So imagine you're biting at a man when you're off the ball, and then when you're on it, you're driving at that man. It causes problems. It creates issues.
I just never saw why. Like only Arteta knows, but I'd never seen why he never gave him as much chance, because it looked so obvious, didn't it? Like this brother is hungry, he's willing, he's young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the ones you entrusted weren't really doing much.
He's showing the character like we want to see from everyone on the pitch.
And do you know the funny thing is, Arteta comes out and says all these fancy stuff about, you know, the team had this. No, they didn't. Martinelli's got it.
Yeah, it's true. Anytime I saw Martinelli come on or start last season, it was always, that's how I want to see the rest. It was kind of like Tierney. When Tierney plays, you're like, this is exactly how I want to. And you can say it before the game.
Yep.
You can say, watch Tierney this game. That's how I want the whole team to perform. Same with Martinelli. That's how I want.
They have a
very
level.
Few players we can do that for the team.
They have a level, bro. Like
Very
their level is their basic is above some people's highest.
Yeah.
They're basic, bro.
Yeah. And they judge themselves to the highest standards.
To the
as well.
highest standards. So when he has a bad game, his bad game is someone else's best game.
Decent
sometimes
game.
Decent game.
Yeah. And it's true, the levels are very varying in the squad. Hence why when people, I'm referring back to the midfield position, say Xhaka had a good season, in my opinion, no. I feel like good season for Xhaka is okay. I can understand when people are looking from that perspective what you said.
Yeah, the levels.
The levels.
Yeah.
Of course, when the levels, when you want a higher level, good here and good there is very different.
Yeah.
Marquez has Stricto joined the AFTV team. Xhaka does not deserve a new deal. You see more of Stricto.
Bro, you wanna see me put them super
Come
chats,
on.
do them things, man.
Hit the like button, people.
Hit the like
That's all
button.
you need to do.
Do what
That's all
he
need
tells you to do.
Hit the like button, people, and obviously get more engagement. And to be honest, Stricto's going to be a big part of the channel moving forward anyway. You saw him debut on the watch along the other day. This is his debut on News Daily today. He'll be on Supporters Club in the future and other shows and watch alongs out there. It's going to be a long season, so yeah, get used to it. Big Strix.
Get used to this ugly face. That guy nowhere.
Come on. But people, still 4,500, over 1k likes. We're going to wrap it up now. We've gone through all the news and I did want to end it on the Martinelli positive. He's in the final. Might get an Olympic gold to his name. And that can only bode well for us in terms of his hunger and desire to
he needs to be
achieve
rewarded
and trophies next season.
Yeah.
But big up the club as well for, nailing him, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Tierney, and one more player, Saka. Did I say him?
You said Saka already. Oh, unless you want to... Who?
No, don't say Bellerin and don't say Xhaka. You was about to say Xhaka.
Yeah,
Tierney, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli. Is that the four? And Balogun. 5 contracts sorted.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, is that what you said, Balogun?
I think it's Bellerin.
Oh, nah.
I thought he was trolling that back there. So
You gotta be louder, Brendan, man.
But like I said, people, that's it for this News Daily. Strix, love for coming on, man. Love, it's been a pleasure.
Listen, I've enjoyed it, man. How long's the...
I was 52. Well, listen, when Stricto first came in, he was like, is it live? Shit. I was like, bro, don't worry about it, man. We go straight in. We do it. News, cover it.
That's flown quick.
It goes quick. It goes quick because
still.
with the engagement as well, a lot of people, questions, thoughts, support coming in. It makes it fun.
Hold on, wait. What? Let me just promote my flipping Insta page, man. Let me get people on there, man.
Go on.
Yo, people, there's a camera gonna look at. Yeah. Straight ahead, yeah. Follow me at BH_Stricto. B for Bellerin, H for Hector _Stricto. I don't know why is Bellerin and Hector, but yeah, big homie _Stricto. Yeah, BH_Stricto.
Yeah,
so
I see one of the mods put your channel link in the live chat as well, so you can go support the thing there.
Lovely.
And like I said, people, we'll be back again tomorrow for AFTV News Daily again at 6 p.m. where it will be me and Cecil tomorrow. So look out for that, people. Love for the love. Tune in then. Peace and love.